What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Cantalupo. Welcome to our new Miami studios, and with a new studio comes more thoughtful content. Earlier this week, Nike announced that they would make Colin Kaepernick the face of their 30th anniversary of the Just Do It slogan. Racist, some will cry. Nike obviously doesn't care about police officers. Others will say that Cap is spoiled. Nike is politicizing shopping. Fans are already divided over the players' ability to demonstrate and protest during the national anthem. And with the news from the NFL Players Association that there has been little meaningful progress thus far towards a potential compromise in regards to the protests, it's easy to see why fans would be upset about this. So upset, in fact, people have gone out of their way to shred their Nike gear, burn it, tear it up, and otherwise destroy it in quite creative ways to grab attention on Twitter and Facebook. Hashtags such as Just Burn It and Boycott Nike were trending, and once again, this country is showing what it really is all about. Now, we know fans are crazy. Just look at Cleveland when LeBron left, or Oklahoma City when Durant left. We know that jersey burning is a thing that people do, and we know that they think they are truly making a point in doing so. So Nike is clearly in the wrong here, right? The consumer will dictate what happens next for the shoe conglomerate, right? It was all just a PR stunt to boost awareness for the NFL season, right? Are we done? Good. This move isn't actually shocking at all, knowing what we know about Nike. So take a deep breath. Let's go. Nike is just playing the game. Question: what do Tiger Woods, Maria Sharapova, Lance Armstrong, and LeBron James all have in common? They all are or were sponsored by Nike. The bigger picture is that these athletes are divisive. They are powerful figures that draw attention, and Nike knows it. When Tiger Woods was going through his sex scandal, guess who didn't drop him? It was Nike. When Lance Armstrong was accused of his eventually true doping scandal, who ran advertisements around him? Nike. What about Sharapova's failed drug test? Who kept her on the sponsor list and ran ads around her? You guessed it, it was Nike. What happened to Michael Vick in 2011 after he successfully re-entered the NFL? Bingo! He was re-signed by Nike despite being dropped in 2007. Let's go to the AFC and move to Pittsburgh. What happened to Ben Roethlisberger when he was accused of sexual assault in 2009 and 2010? Nothing. Nike stood by him and retained his sponsorship. What about sprinter Justin Gatlin, who signed a new sponsorship contract with Nike in 2015 after serving a 4-year ban for doping? Did they back away from him due to controversy? No. Nike has always capitalized off of controversial figures who are in the public crosshairs, and guess what? It hasn't hurt their brand. They were the ones behind Charles Barkley when he announced that he was not a role model, and the ones that worked with Serena Williams, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and others for the equality campaign during Black History Month last year. In all of these cases, the response is the same. The public has some outcry for a little while. They may even attempt to boycott their products for a little bit, but eventually they let it simmer away and go back to life as always. Don't believe me? Let's look at Kobe Bryant. Kobe was accused of sexual assault back in 2003. When that news came to light, sponsors such as Adidas, who he was signed to a 6-year deal with starting back in '96, then McDonald's and Nutella, they all dropped him from their list of sponsored athletes. Guess who went out of their way to keep him on their team? Nike. They had just recently signed the young superstar to a 5-year, $40 million contract. Yes, it's true that they kept him out of images, press releases, and refused to market his shoe for the year until his image was cleaned up, but they still backed him. When his image and name were cleared, he became one of the major faces of the company. When Michael Jordan famously said that Republicans buy sneakers too, you would think that sponsors would nix him. If there was so one-sided, why would they associate with someone who sides with the Republican Party? It was not, and still isn't in many professional sports, considered the norm. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said that Jordan chose commerce over conscience. Guess what? Nike didn't flinch. Instead, they doubled down on him and continued to turn out the Air Jordan collection of sneakers. In 1990, when he made the comment, they were on Air Jordan 5. Nike knows what it is doing. They know they have a responsibility and they are answering the call. Mary Scott, the president of UEG, a sports entertainment and lifestyle marketing agency, had to say this about the company. Nike, from day one, has really been a brand that has stood up to and stood for things that were important to them and important to their athletes. It's not the first time Nike has charged headfirst into an issue, and you can bet it won't be the last. Now, sticking it to the NFL, it seems strange that Nike, the NFL's on-field uniform sponsor, stayed silent for so long in the wake of Kaepernick's controversy. He was signed under the brand, and yet he didn't appear in any marketing campaigns, no signature shoes, no nothing. Nike seemed to be ignoring a bankable star. Well, we found out otherwise this week. Nike recently extended their agreement with the NFL until 2028. With that partnership etched in stone, they turned 180 degrees and signed the most loathed player in the NFL, despite him not being in the NFL anymore. Talk about a power move. Kaepernick represents more than a blemish. He is a full-on breakout for the NFL, and they have been trying to silence him for years. Hence, the collusion case. This is not the first time a power move like this has been pulled through. Let's think back to 2014 when Marshawn Lynch was still a Seattle Seahawk and going through his phase of not wanting to talk to the media.
How about the effort of the offensive line just to keep pounding it against such a tough defense today?
Yeah.
How does that defense compare to others that you've seen this year?
Yeah.
You were on the sidelines for a little bit there. What was going on? Was the back all right? Obviously, you got back in there.
Yeah. I'm here so I won't get fined.
He was fined $100,000 for it. Later, his teammate Richard Sherman took the podium and unleashed a pointed comedy sketch with a cutout Doug Baldwin. In the press conference, Sherman mocked the NFL's player media policy and the hypocrisy of wanting players to talk to the media, if only to act as their pitchmen for sponsors. Sherman didn't like it. He took to the mic and he started talking about his personal sponsors, Beats by Dre, Neff, Martinelli's, and Subway, in a middle finger to good old Roger Goodell. Goodell could force players to talk to the media, but he couldn't force them to say what he wanted. The NFL quickly tucked tail and let the issue solve itself. And it did. This is similar to what Nike just did. They secured the loot and then used it as a platform to prop up the NFL's public enemy number one. What now? The NFL can't boycott Nike, and they can't pretend like they aren't aware of Kaepernick's existence anymore either. Nike has forced the league to recognize the issues plaguing them, and they are forcing them to come to terms with it and solve them. Again, talk about a power move. The long play. We mentioned that Kaepernick was on the Nike roster for years despite not being featured in any promotional material, and we established why that was. There is more to that puzzle though, the biggest being the targeted demographics. That's right. The millennials are the prize here. Despite being stowed away for some time, Cap was pursued by Nike's competition, Adidas, Under Armour, and even Reebok. They were either going after Cap in hopes of signing him away from Nike or simply supporting him in his banishment from the league. Now that he has resurfaced, Nike is going all in on him, and for good reason. The goal is not only to spread his message, whether you agree with it or not, but it is also specifically to speak to 15 to 17-year-olds. But why teenagers can't buy expensive apparel? They don't usually have an income or financial awareness to dictate consumer habits. So what's the play? 2 words: social media. Nike had an option, appease the older people who speak with their wallet or appease the younger people who speak through the internet. We obviously know which group they chose. Nike is one of the world's largest companies. It is at the forefront of cool, and it is the leader in trend setting. Millennials, for all the shit you people give us, are the consumers of that stuff. We are the ones that max out on the cool, trendy stuff, and they are the groups that can make or break a brand. I'm not saying that they could break Nike. I don't think anybody can do that, but I am saying that millennials will dictate the success of this campaign. Older generation may close their wallets in hopes of letting the market speak. Millennials will open their social media accounts and their mouths, like I'm doing right now, and either embrace or disgrace the campaign. The ball is in our court, and Nike knows it. They planned on it, and they planned on it for a long time. Hope you guys like that. Until next time, I'm Mike Cantalupo. Thanks for watching.